Hey, welcome back to my channel. And today we're going to be talking about the Real Housewives of Potomac. This is season 6, part 3 of the reunion. We are almost done, you guys. Clap it up. Who needs an applause? We do, for sticking through consistently week to week. Before we get started in this review, please make sure that you are subscribed to my channel with the notification bell on, that you hit the like button, and that you comment below your favorite moments from tonight's reunion. And let's go ahead and jump on into tonight's video. So let's go ahead and get on into this reunion, y'all. We start off where we ended last week. We're talking about Wendy and this rumor. And, man, I don't care what nobody say. Wendy tickles me. Okay, this reunion tickled me. Her receipts tickled me. Andy at some point made a comment about, oh, we had the binder last year. Now we have this little notebook of receipts. It's just becoming a lot. Every year they bring props. Andy, shut up. We done had scepters and bull horns and binders and all kind of props, honey. One thing about it, the Black Housewives will bring props. I don't know what the White Housewives do because I only watch Beverly Hills, so I don't know what the rest of them do, but I ain't seen no props over there for real. But anyway, I was here for it. They had a viewer question that asked, why didn't Wendy attack Ashley when she was the one that brought the rumor up in Williamsburg? And I loved Wendy's answer. Wendy said, I knew that Ashley was a minion, and if I'm going to attack a snake, I'm going to cut it by the head, which was Gizelle. So that is why I went to her. And they asked, why did she have smoke for Robin as well? And she said that her issue was that Robin was trying to act like she didn't know what was going on when Robin was the one that brought her the rumor to begin with. We talked about it here on the channel some reviews ago. I don't remember what review we talked about it, but we talked about that. And Wendy then proceeded to bring out her cardboard cutout with her receipts. I don't know where it came from, y'all. I was head down. I look up. She got the doggone cardboard cut out. I don't know where she pulled it from. Everybody was confusion. Candace said she pulled it out her pocket. It was so funny to me. I'm sorry. That thing tickled me something serious. It tickled Candace too. Apparently she needed a pillow and everything. But anyway, Robin is playing dumb, like she doesn't understand why Wendy was upset. And her thing was, in the moment, her confusion was she didn't know what rumor was being talked about. She just thought that Wendy was, I don't know, going off or something. And do y'all believe it? I'm just going to ask y'all, do y'all believe it? I've spoke on my feelings on it. Do y'all believe it? Do y'all feel like Wendy was wrong for attacking Robin in that moment? Robin, you would have never got those straight bullets if you wouldn't have got in the conversation. Everybody else was sitting there and watching Gizelle get lit up. You, having to be her protector, stood up and tried to take some of her bullets. Don't get mad that you got shot. Andy asked, would it have changed anything if Gizelle would have brought up the rumor on camera versus Ashley bringing it up on camera? Because, again, one of the issues is that the rumor was even brought on camera, period. And Wendy says that, yeah, it would have changed things a little bit, because if she claimed to have been as concerned as she was, then, it would have seemed more sincere, I'm guessing, or whatever. And Gizelle makes an excuse saying that the reason why she didn't want to bring it up was because Wendy was feeling defensive. Mind you, again, like, we're trying to sit up here and blame Wendy as if she was just irrationally being defensive or irrationally not feeling Gizelle at the time. Y'all spent the entire time at Williamsburg attacking this woman and called, as if she had done something to y'all, calling her loose, calling her low substance, you know what I'm saying? All of these things. By the time that the rumor was brought up by Ashley, y'all had came for Wendy on like 2 or 3 separate occasions. So yes, she was defensive at this point. But let's be clear. You could have talked to her about the rumor before Williamsburg, Gizelle, because you talked to Ashley about the rumor before Williamsburg. So either way, you brought up the rumor outside of her to begin with. Um, they also took this time to talk about how Gizelle and Wendy weren't really that close. In some kind of way, we end up talking about their call logs and how they never really talked on the phone. Apparently Wendy printed out. She said, "Cause I'm married to a lawyer, so I bring my receipts, and I pulled my call log, and we talked one time for 1 minute. So while Gizelle is sitting here talking about all these things we talked about, she has not called my phone." And apparently, again, if you really were her friend, if you really cared anything about her, just like how Robin sent the heads up message about this rumor or whatever, if you did really care, then you would have sent some type of message to her, Gizelle. But we all know that Gizelle is nobody's friend. She cannot be trusted. It is what it is. At the end of it, Andy asked if there were any apologies that need to be made. Ashley apologized. Gizelle sat there with the plug face. I'm sick of her. I'm sorry. It's the fact that you can wrong someone and then get mad when they're mad at you for wronging them. I saw a meme on my Facebook the other day, as a matter of fact, today actually, and the meme was like, "I'm from South Carolina, where someone can do you wrong and then cut you off because they mad at how you feel." Like, and that is Gizelle all day. Now, I'm sure that's not just a South Carolina thing. That's just the meme I seen. But that is Gizelle all day. You just nasty, just straight up nasty, and you were somebody's first lady. I feel sorry for the souls that were in that church. It is what it is. All right, so then we get a Robin segment. I'm not going to stay here long because honestly, I do not care. I don't care about Robin's storyline, but let's just go ahead and do it because they talked about it. Robin claimed that Juan felt bad about not being supportive when she was going through her depression. Sure, it's easy to say because he's not here to say how he feels. Again, Juan is never here. Embezzled is doing well. Embezzled helped her pay off her taxes and put a down payment on her house. Yay. They asked if anybody believes that she will be getting married within the next year. The only person to raise their hand was Gizelle. She says that they will be getting married eventually. I won't hold my breath because I don't want to pass out and die. They bring up the relationship between Michael and Juan. We're sick of it. And then they discuss this non-existent baby. She's getting the club shot up. But I don't believe that y'all sleep in the same bed, the same house, the same room, the same damn near county, if you ask me. Moving on. The husbands come out. And again, there's no Juan and there's no Michael. Are they together? Y'all tell me. I'm just joking. I don't think that they're together, but also like whatever. So as they're greeting all of the men and they're greeting all of the husbands, and Dorothy ends up calling. Candace picks up the phone. Andy's sitting there like, "Oh, are we doing this?" Okay. So Andy gets the phone and it's like, "Hi, Dorothy." And he asked Dorothy if she had any regrets for how she acted at the video shoot. Of course, Dorothy doesn't have any regrets. Dorothy doesn't think she did anything wrong. Andy asked her if she has apologized to Chris in person yet. Of course, Dorothy has not apologized. Dorothy doesn't think she's done anything wrong. Andy asked if she will apologize. Dorothy says, sure, I can. I'm up for it. Chris is not here for this conversation. He's over it. They are not friends. They are not friendly. Candace, your mom is going to mess up your marriage. I pray not, but the writing is on the wall. They do the G package where we talk about G during the GVO couples getaway being, a little bit inappropriate and making Ashley feel uncomfortable. They ask Ashley what was her issue with G on this trip. Ashley claims her husband has never been overtly sexual with anyone in the cast, and that doesn't quite answer the question. Ma'am, your husband may not have been overtly sexual with anyone in the cast, but he's definitely been that way with people in the crew. Okay? And with Katie's ex-boyfriend, what he would be considered cast, maybe not the women of the cast, but he's definitely been overtly sexual. Or how about how he said that he would S Juan's D? Is that not overtly sexual? It's amazing to me how Ashley just defends her predator. And why is Gizelle defending him too? Like, Gizelle, since when are you on Michael's side? Since when are you and Michael cool like that? You've been the main one dragging him from season to season, and all of a sudden this season you're Michael's cheerleader and you're on Ashley's side. It's really weird, and I don't like it. I don't like it. We can all talk about how G was a little bit extra on the trip. And like I said in my reviews, I just think G was a drunk old man who was being funny, who was just letting loose. Had he done those same actions with a group of his actual friends, no one probably would have looked at him twice. When he was picking with Ashley on the Sprinter bus back from the yacht or whatever, he was just playing. He wasn't trying to be malicious or shady. And you know he wasn't, because G, with no hesitation, apologized to Ashley. He said, you know what, I wasn't trying to be mean. Looking back at it, I can see that I did offend you. I apologize. Quick, simple, to the point. Have we ever seen a genuine apology from Michael for any of his actions? Never, not once. I like G. I don't care what nobody says. I like G. I don't think he was that bad. Michael can go. Then they get into making excuses for Juan not being there. He's a basketball coach. He has to be with training camp and recruiting, and he has games and blah, 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 blah. And me and my husband went back and forth about it. My husband's like, well, yeah, that is how college coaches are. Excuses. Excuses are tools. If you pledge, you know what I'm talking about. Excuses. Juan is not there because Juan does not want to be there. Juan is not invested in this relationship. He's not invested in this show. He's not invested in being with these women. You're not going to tell me that these women literally shoot like 9 months out of the year and we can only get 4 scenes with Juan because he works that doggone much. I'm over it. You say whatever you want about it. I do not care. There's nothing that they can say. There is no excuse that they can make, in my eyes, that explains why Juan is never, ever, ever available on this show. Robin Mace says, you know, he's a black man in a predominantly white business, and everything has to be perfect. And I'm sure, yes, I'm sure there are a lot of sacrifices that Juan has to make and that Robin has to make if they were a real couple, in order to maintain him being a coach, I'm sure. But he's not the only one that is a black husband working in a predominantly white field. Everyone on this show has a job. Wendy speaks up and talks about how Eddie is not an entrepreneur. He took off and he made a way to be there. And at the end of the day, I feel like people do what they want to do. People prioritize what they deem as important. And the bottom line is, Robin, you're not important to Juan from what we're seeing. What y'all got going on behind closed doors, I can't speak on. But we as viewers don't see where you are held in any kind of importance or regard in his eyes. Moving on. We talk about Chris and how he is managing Candace's career. And Chris says what all of us have been saying: he is nothing but a glorified secretary. He is an assistant. He is Candace's do boy. That is what it is, okay? They addressed Dorothy being shady towards him. And you know what? At the end of the day, Chris is really offended by the narrative that has been spun. And he ends up talking about it a little bit more later on during Karen's segment. But let's just go ahead and get into it. Chris is offended by how not only the women in the cast, but I'm sure production too, is contributing to make it seem like he was this white trash, poor guy who just never did or never had anything until getting with Candace. And it's starting to weigh on him and he's sick of it. And I'm not mad at him for defending himself. But also, just a side note, some of the main people that you're defending yourself against are your wife's best friends. Gizelle. Chris says that when he met Candace, he had his own place. They wanted to move into the town. They wanted him to move into the townhouse, which was considered an investment property for Candace and her mom. And he was not finna pay a mortgage on their property. He was not, especially as a boyfriend, he wasn't going to do that until they were a married couple, a unit. Can't get mad at him for that. If you wanted him to pay, y'all move out together. Y'all live your own life. This is the house y'all already had. Why am I contributing to y'all's mortgage and we're not even, tied together? I can understand that completely. Chris says that he's never quit a job once him and Candace got married. He's never quit a job before. And I think that it just does a disservice when the ladies on the cast continue to try to make it seem like he's some kept man. And the reason why it ends up getting brought up later on in the episodes because they talk about how Ray is supportive of Karen and he pushes Karen, and he'll promote her and things like that. But when Chris does it, it's seen as him riding her coattails. And Gizelle's gonna say, well, the difference is he was there supporting her for 20 years before, and so that's the difference. No, at the end of the day, I don't think there's anything wrong with Chris supporting his wife, being a husbander, or husbander in quotations, which is nothing but, again, an assistant. He clearly is working. If he wasn't working, Candace wouldn't have gotten mad that he wasn't able to come to the photo shoot. That shows you right there that he's working. Because if all he was doing was sitting there being up under her, he would have been able to come to the video shoot. Don't you think? No, he left working to come to the video shoot afterward. So I understand him defending himself. At the end of the day, he's supporting his wife. Right now, she's hot. He's helping to push her because them moving forward together helps them as a household, helps them as one. I like Chris. Chris is one of the stand-up husbands on this show that I actually like. Now, I understand that he can get spicy with bloggers and things like that. But I just think that his issue is, he came on this show to support her, and then he's getting dragged in association with her, and then he's seeing people drag his wife. So of course you're going to defend yourself and you're going to defend your wife. I had no problem with it. And I felt like he was making it a point to defend himself because he does not get a good edit. And it is just crazy to me how Chris gets this terrible edit, but no one ever really addresses Michael how he needs to be. Michael is never at the reunions. He is always so sick. Oh, I have pneumonia. Oh, this, oh, that. He's always able to get let off. But they are dogging Chris. That bothers me. I would be aggravated. They talk about Mia tweeting about Chris and the whole tossing salad thing in the kitchen, and everyone's like, why would you as a married woman even tweet that? G's confused. He's like, what's going on? So Mia begins to try to explain. Oh, let me tell you. Let me refresh your memory because it's a lot going on. Well, I had said, something, and I apologized immediately after. It doesn't matter if you apologized immediately after. The tweet is, no one's going to see the apology, but everyone's going to see the tweet. I didn't see the apology. I didn't see the retraction. And I bees up and throughs the blogs, okay? I didn't see it. And so it was very distasteful for you, Mia, as a married woman to even tweet that. And it shows you how she was wrapped up in the hype of this show. Because I think she wanted to make a moment. She wanted to go viral. She wanted people to talk about her. And that's just not the way you do it, especially randomly claiming that someone else's husband. That's just messy. It's just messy for no reason. Some kind of way Wendy gets in on Mia too as well, talking about how she made a comment about how Eddie couldn't even look her in the eyes, and why are you worried about what the next husband is doing? And Wendy kept going. Wendy was going so hard to the point where Candace was like, don't give her no more. Don't give her no more, because Wendy was doing too much. Now, this is the one time I will say I've been enjoying Wendy this entire reunion. I don't care. Y'all could be mad at her. But this was the one time where I was like, Wendy, you are doing too much. Like, number one, this ain't had nothing to do with you. Number two, Mia is thirsty for the attention. And if I were G, I would get that in check. Because why do you keep referring to any of the other men in this group and what they do in reference to you? You get what I'm saying? Are y'all swingers or something? I'm just joking. I'm just joking. Andy asked Eddie if he was affected by the rumors at all. Eddie says that the rumors he wasn't mad or anything, but they just showed no consideration for him or his children. And once again, Gizelle refuses to apologize. Because she claims, well, I said I didn't believe them, so I don't understand. It takes nothing. Just like how G said, well, I can, I didn't mean to offend you. I apologize. It takes nothing to say, I didn't believe them from the beginning, Eddie, but I do apologize for bringing that up on the show and assassinating your character, or leading to any assassination to your character, or anything. And when you bring your children up, everybody has to stop and apologize for Gizelle's children. But if anyone else says that, that affected my children, well, I don't know why. I don't see why. I didn't. But if you love Gizelle, that's on you. Because I can't. Lastly, we get to Karen's package. Well, not lastly, but we get to Karen's package. And, Siri ambassador. Siri finally gets Wi-Fi. So you're telling me this whole county ain't never had Wi-Fi? What's going on with that? But, all right, Karen, do what you need to do. Like I said, we talked about Ray supporting Karen. So that's great. Ray wants her to market herself and really take advantage of some of the opportunities that she's been given. I love Ray and Karen. They ask about the renewal and if the renewal was a jab at Robin and Juan's relationship. Karen says that she did take a few jabs during the season, but it had nothing to do with them. She was just excited to have her own vow renewal. We see that Robin and Juan got into it at the vow renewal, or throughout the season, talking about the baby. Okay, like I said, I don't care nothing about that. Then they take a break. And during the break, they set it up for Nikki to come in. Nikki has been instructed that she is able to ask the ladies anything. She is able to take sides because she doesn't have to be neutral like Andy. And she's going to give it to the girls. She got questions from herself and from her barbs, and she's going to give it to them. So they take a little break, reset, hide her in the back. They come back in, and it's like, it's been a long day. I need a shot of tequila. She brings out the tequila. Everybody's all excited. Yay. Woo. Now she's Indiana Minaj or whatever she said. She gonna bring it on home. She goes right in at Ashley. So, Ashley, you came out with your fresh breast milk. Leave your baby to come and start messing Williamsburg. Were you just doing that because your storyline was dry this season? I said, well, she's asking the questions we want to know. Was not mad. What I found a little interesting was it seemed like Candace was defending Ashley. Where did that come from? Maybe we'll see more next week. Maybe that was just editing or something. But I'm like, Candace, of all people, you're defending. I guess, it's like I could talk about my mama, but you better not talk about my mama type of situation. Like, I could talk about my sister, but you don't talk about my sister, okay? Maybe that's what it is. But I'm here for Nikki coming in and stirring the pot and getting down to the nitty gritty, okay? Asking the real questions. That's it. That's all I have to say for part 3. I think I rambled enough. Y'all tell me y'all's thoughts on tonight's reunion. I will be back for another video very shortly. I'm actually finna shoot Power Ghost Book 2, or however it's titled. If y'all enjoy those type of reviews, please make sure you come back on my channel. Subscribe if you have not done so already. Like the video. Like I said, comment down below and tell me your thoughts. And I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.